America has been forced to listen to the left and their non-stop cries for attention as they have claimed Russian collusion with President Donald Trump's campaign since the election. Unfortunately for them, their narrative was just ripped to shreds as John Podesta's Scandalous skeletons came out. And now, everyone knows his dirty little secret. The left is desperate enough to do anything they can to have any semblance of power restored to the failing Democrat Party. For one, they're desperate enough to blame anyone but Hillary Clinton for losing. Secondly, they're desperate enough to delegitimize President Donald Trump at every turn. And lastly, they're desperate enough to cause havoc wherever they can in hopes of hindering the current administration. Of course, that's why we've heard for well over a half a year now that Russia had meddled in our affairs. Despite the fact that Hillary had several questionable and shady dealings with foreign countries, Russia included, it seems that this was the issue they were most outraged over. Too bad for them. We know it's all fake and they're just a bunch of whiners. Still, they've consistently been trying to connect dots that aren't there to depict a theory that is entirely fictitious, at least as far as Trump's participation in the so-called series of events is concerned. Now, they are probably regretting their endeavors. As it turns out, it looks like they may have had one thing right, but the guilt actually falls on the opposite side of the aisle. Come to find out, it looks like Hillary's campaign was the one that was actually involved with the Russians, specifically, her campaign manager John Podesta. As Breitbart initially reported, Podesta was found to have been given 75,000 shares to a Massachusetts company that received a whopping $35 million from a Putin-connected Russian government fund. Although Podesta didn't report the earnings, meaning that he was complicit in a possible federal crime, it seems that things have gotten worse now that his scandalous skeleton just came out. According to an even more recent article released by Breitbart, it seems that the company Podesta received those common stocks from just up and closed. The investors walked away, former Dual Unlimited CEO Brian Baines told the Digest. So basically, this story leaks, then the main investors, likely Russian, no longer want anything to do with the company, pull their money, and run? You can't tell me there's nothing fishy about that. Unfortunately for Podesta, things may only get worse from here as an investigation into the matter may soon be underway. In fact, Representative Louis Gohmert, who sits on the House Judiciary Committee, called on Congress to start looking into the questionable relationship which could effectively start at any time. Of course, what this means is that the left was right. There very well may have been collusion between the Russians and a presidential campaign. However, they couldn't have possibly been any more colossally wrong when it comes to who the Russians were colluding with. In the end, liberals may have been the cause of their own downfall with all this. After all, by keeping this made-up Trump-Russia collusion story going for so long, it has caused people to look where the Clinton family hoped no one ever would, at them. I wonder how it must feel to screw up so badly that you not only implicate your own party but accidentally take down the candidate you once lauded while trying to make their opponent look bad. It just doesn't get any worse than that. Please share the story and tell us what you think by clicking one of the buttons below. We want to hear your voice.